Everybody, Steve Colescott here for elitefts.com. We're here once again with Clint Darden, the Lord of the House of Biceps. And we're going to talk a little bit about what Clint's doing business-wise. Clint, when did you make the transition to what you're doing now with putting together people's programs? Was it the videos and then the programming, or the other way around?
Oh man, do you want just like the story that sounds good, or do you want like the ESPN Sports Center?
I want something to make some people cry at home, if that's possible.
Honestly, I was saving this story until I was at a Learn to Train seminar, or until it was just me, Dave, one-on-one. So Dave, you probably have heard this from me already before this is released on video. So I'll be emotional when I tell Dave this again. But, you know, I came to the States 3 years ago, and I went back home, and we own a business for autism. And to be honest, I can run the business, but I'm not the person who is good with working with the children. My wife is the expert with working with children, yet she has no ability to talk to people or to say things in any other way except for directly in your face, which is not ideal when you're trying to sell or market a company. And I kind of have that American politician attitude. I mean, I can sell people stuff, I can look you in the eye and tell you something really, really mean, but say it in a nice way so that it doesn't hurt. And my wife just can't do that. So, you know, I really tried to step farther and farther away from that business and just be the owner and not be the operator, because it's not my thing. And I found that if you don't love something, you're probably not going to be good at it. So my wife and I, we were at a point, December of 2011, we just moved into our new house. We have a lot of bills, and to be honest, we were starving. My wife and I went probably 3 months, and we might have had some sausage to cook on the fireplace. My son never went without milk. He never went without fruit or vegetables. But between me and my wife, we were lucky to get one meal of something a day for months at a time. And I couldn't get my online business to work. I had a couple of clients here and there, but it wasn't enough to put gas in my car or to buy anything more than some bananas once a week. So I had actually contacted Dave, because I had no one else to talk to. Like, Dave, this is the situation I'm in. I don't have many people that I trust, and Dave is very, very straight and to the point. He really pulls no punches, and I think there are very few people that can get away with doing that, but everyone respects Dave. So that's he finally set me down through email, and he just said, Clint, he told me he couldn't tell me what to do business-wise because I hadn't really done anything. Unless I could give him some ideas, he didn't know what to change or what to do different. His only advice for me, and that again comes back from powerlifting, was to go back and look back at what you did just before you had success a previous time. And it's the same way with the squat. It's not just the testing phase where you hit a new PR on the squat. You have to look back what you did the 6 to 8 weeks, 3 months, 6 months before that led up to whatever success you just had. And he said, you have to do the same thing with business. Go back and look at, whatever you've done before that's ended up with a success in business, and do that. And he said, until you know what you've done properly, don't contact me again. So that's tough pill to swallow when Dave Tate tells you that. So, I came back a couple days later and I said, the only thing that I can put together that has led to success is it seems like every time I have given everything just for free. When I've gone online, when I've just helped people and put as much information out there as possible for free and just give, give, somehow business just turns around. And he says, well, do that. He said, I don't know how you do that, but you've got to find a way just to give out tons and tons of free information. And I love talking. I mean, I love talking. I love cameras. I love being on video. I love being in front of people and talking. I love motivating people. So that turned into a YouTube channel that kind of became active. And I just put out 2 or 3 videos a day for about 3 or 4 months. And then the next thing you know, my business just turned around. And I've had people contact me over and over, this is the situation I'm in. Can you help me? And I don't think Dave has any idea the kind of impact he had on my life. And we're not hurting for money now. I mean, Cyprus has been through some major financial crisis, and we've lost everything in our accounts twice this year. So whatever we had in savings, every cent that we have had, paychecks. My wife hasn't been paid now before we left, she got paid for December, and it's August now. So I've gone in a year and a half from us starving as a family to being able to support us through my ability to work. And I worked a lot of hours. My clients know that I'm online almost all the time. I get hundreds of emails every day from clients. And the hours are not fun, but the ability to know that, hey, for one, I can help people, because I've got some crazy stories I can tell of client success stories. But at least the ability to be able to work and make money and support myself, and to trace all that back to the advice Dave gave me. And now looking back on it, it's so freaking vague. It's like going to see a psychic. I mean, the advice was so vague, but immediately back on target. I don't think Dave has an idea of the impact he's had on my life, my wife's life, my son's life, and then obviously everybody that's part of the House of Biceps now.
Okay. And you've done well over 1,000 videos. Do you know a rough number where you're at now, around 1,200?
1,400 maybe, somewhere around there.
At what point do you think you found your voice? Because the earlier ones are not nearly as good as the ones you're doing. They're not bad, but the ones you're doing now, it fits.
Right. Well, when I finished college, when I finished high school, I was a professional motivational speaker for a long time. And so I have no problem being in front of people and talking loud, and I have no problems being goofy and crazy on camera, because I don't care. I don't really care what people think about me. I'm going to have fun everywhere I go. So if I'm going to be in front of a camera, I might as well have fun in the process. So I think several years ago I was dealing with the issue of nobody knew me, and you can see it in my face, you can see it in my training, you can see it in my videos. I wasn't having fun in life 2 or 3 years ago. So I've had people always ask me questions about training or food or supplements or anything, and I just, it was just putting the information out there. And I really believe that, and people keep asking me, why do I talk about this? Why do I talk about certain taboo subjects? And I think it's because somebody has to. Mm-hmm. At some point, it can't be Joe Blow 36, telling you about why you should box squat, or why you should wear briefs, or why you shouldn't, or or about any supplement or anything that you've seen me talk about. There has to be a face there. There has to be someone you can trust. So I just began making videos, with at least putting information out there, and being an American, all of a sudden living overseas. Because if you're American, you believe that everyone in Europe has some secret recipe that they're not telling the rest of the world. And the crazy thing is, when you're in Europe, they believe all the Americans have some sort of secret recipe that they're not sharing with the rest of the world. So being in Europe, I tried to build that gap and put kind of some reality to all the situations that we as athletes go through, in all perspective. And it's just, the more fun I began having with it, the more fun everybody else began having watching the videos. And, you can really see, probably a year and a half ago, I began having a whole lot more fun just in life. I don't care where I am. I'm going to smile. I'm going to have fun. I'm going to tell jokes. On my worst days, I've been in the hospital, and I'm sitting here emailing Dave from the hospital. Last time I was in the hospital, I snuck out outside because I can get some internet, reception, and just to email Dave and a few of my clients. But, I would like to think that my attitude has just been reflected more and more through the videos, and a positive mental attitude, it does spread. You see that with a training group. Every time you come in the gym and you have a bad day, all it takes is one guy killing himself, having a great day, and everybody else's attitude changes. And, and I don't want to be around negative people. So, I like to throw my crazy sense of humor out there, which somehow people still, they don't understand that I'm joking a lot. They still think that I'm being serious in a lot of my videos. But, I said, I'm just going to have fun. And if people want to watch and they want to have fun, if they want to sit through, one of my Steve Pulcinella epics that I make, as he likes to call it, the 15-minute videos, and they can pick out something good from it and have a lot of fun in the process, then I've done my job.
Okay. Okay, in our next segment, we're going to talk a little bit about training.